Welcome everyone to our Monday night shiur. I want to say first of all, our shiur should be there. Nothing over there. It should be there for Shlemat Mordechai ben Evelyn. Hashem should send them a speedy recovery. Amen. Also to Reuven ben Shoshana ben Chaso. Hashem should send them a Shlema, speedy recovery. He's on dialysis, so Hashem should send him a healthy, good kidney with he should live a long life. Amen. And also to the Shimonal family, who always give support and sponsor the shiurim. Really, all the food and everything. There isn't regular sponsors, and it's them. So they come and they give to. They should say berachot. Every bracha you make, obviously, you're bringing Mashiach Tzidkenu closer. Because inside the food is nishamo, there's birurim, and they're waiting for people like you to say berachot. That's why the Gemara says, I don't remember the exact number, but Rabbi Ishmael, Kohen Gadol, he was very fat. And they asked him, what was his breakfast? He said, I don't remember the exact number, it was something like 80 gozalot, 80 baby chicks. He just used to pop them in like snacks. Now obviously he wasn't hungry to eat 80 chicks. Nobody's hungry to eat 80 chicks. I don't care if you drink half a bottle in the morning, half a bottle in the afternoon. But obviously, for the birurim, he was doing birurim in Sod Kedusha inside the thing. Also, the Gemara says that Shimon HaTzadik, you guys all know who Shimon HaTzadik is, the last of the Anshe Knesset HaGedolah. He was he never partook from any Nazir's korban. Nazirim bring korbanot, and they have a very big korban to bring. 2 rams, I think I'm not sure exactly, Parashat Metzora. I think 7 sheep they have to bring. There's a big korban over there. He has to be done. Imagine coming to the Beit with 2. First of all, how are you going to control 2 rams and 7 sheep? You got to be a shepherd, right?
You have workers with you.
I'm sure. No, of course, probably assistants. So it's a whole procession. They have to bring a korban, and the kohanim eat from the korbanot. Shimon HaTzadik would never eat from any Nazir's korban. He used to say people are just becoming Nazir from bodegi. Women also could become Nazirs. You know that, right? Of course, women could become Nazirs. And there was a story in the Gemara with the Queen Helen. Queen Helen, there was a country, I think it was an Arab country, where the whole country converted during the second Beit HaMikdash. There was a queen, a king's name. His name was Munbaz. Munbaz HaMelech.
Sounds like more Indian.
The country was called Abidene. I don't know how to pronounce it correctly. Abedine. I think it was a country in the Gulf, in the Arab Gulf. That's what I think. It was close to Eretz Yisrael, that's for sure. And basically, the whole country converted with the king. We have 2 instances like this in Judaism, in Jewish history. Both of the countries are wiped out of the face of the universe. There's no remnants of them. One country was this Munbaz HaMelech's country. The whole country converted, and they actually saved Am Yisrael. There was a big drought, and he opened up all of his treasure houses to give wheat and supplies to Eretz Yisrael. Another country, I forget their names, if you guys remind me.
Russia.
Next to Russia, next to Crimea.
They were fighting with them.
These are the original Ukrainians, not this knockoff people we have over there. Do you remember their names? I remember the king's name. His name was Bulan. Kuzari. The Kuzari. The Kuzari, they were what were they called again? They weren't called Kuzarim. They were called, whatever, I don't remember their name, but the book is called Kuzari. Rabbi Yehuda Chassid has a whole dialogue over there. Right. And they were a Turkish, Scythian country, a European country, and they all converted to Judaism. They're all wiped out. They were all wiped out. Why? Because nomadic tribes came over, Turks, Ottomans.
Shimon and Levi destroyed the city of Shechem also converted.
Right. Shechem also converted, but we're talking about after the Torah. I mean, these guys really converted.
Wow.
These guys really converted. They all got breached. The whole country converted. Now, the funny thing, the crazy question is if they had converted, how come they didn't marry into Klal Yisrael? There is a theory that says that when they converted, they only accept the Torah shebichtav. They never accept the Torah sheba'al peh. It's a theory like this. We don't know if that's the truth. There was a saying that in their time there was a big rabbi called Rabbi Chasdai ibn Shaprut. He was one of the Rishonim. He wanted to use this Kuzarims. I don't think that was their name, but he wanted to use them to find the 10 lost tribes and bring Mashiach. but he never was able to go there because the Arab countries always had Spain always had war with them, and it all fell down. But anyways, what I'm trying to say that King Munbaz's mother was Queen Helen, Hileni Malka. She's in the Gemara, and actually, no, her name was Helen. I guess they adopted. It was a popular name. So her name was, and she was a Nazir. But she took upon herself Nazirut outside of Eretz Yisrael. When she came for 7 years, I think it was, when she came into Eretz Yisrael, the rabbi said that you have to keep the Nazirut all over again for 7 years. And she was a big tzaddiket, and she accepted upon herself this mitzvah. And she also donated to the Beit HaMikdash a menorah.
Do they also grow beards and stuff?
Women? I hope not. I mean, I don't know they were hormonal like that, but I'm pretty sure they don't have to grow beards. Nazirs don't have to grow beards, by the way. It's only the hair on their head.
But women
learn Hilchot Nazirut.
Yeah, but they would just let it grow anyway.
Oh, the beard?
Yeah, no?
Back then, beard was a normal thing.
No.
Exactly. So Shimon HaTzadik would never partake of any Nazir's korban. Because he held that all the Nazirim are fake. Only one time he ate a Nazir's korban. It was a boy, an 18-year-old boy, young boy, came inside the Beit HaMikdash. He said, my son, why are you bringing this korban? And he said, I saw my reflection in the water, and I said, I'm such a beautiful person. And I said, so I'm going to grow my hair long to make myself look menuval. Back then, for a man to grow his hair long was actually it wasn't a attractive thing. And he said, from your korban that you did it to save yourself from Yetzer Hara, I'm going to eat from your korban. So anyways, what I want to bring all this for, a person has to always support Torah and take out the birurim, the Beit HaMikdash, and you see that there's an idea to only eat money from the money of a person who's keeping Torah, mitzvot, ma'asim tovim. Like Shimon HaTzadik only ate the food of a Nazir, the korban of a Nazir, that he did it for the right reasons. And Rabbi Ishmael Kohen Gadol ate the korbanot, those ofot. There was korban of kiddushim. He did it to pick up the birurim. So also, when you partake in a seudah, by the way, there's a chesed la'Avraham. Rabbi Avraham Azulai, he says, after a person passes away, unfortunately, there is a feast going on down there. The person's body decomposes, comes the worms, the mice, the rats, and they all chomp off at the body. And the neshama sees it as it's happening, and he has very big tza'ar. And actually, the Zohar says that the neshama can't go inside Gan Eden until it gets the body gets finitos. So in one way, the neshama wants it to decompose. On the other hand, he sees what's going on over there, and he's riveting. But he says, how does a person, all those animals they eat from his body, all those scavengers, they enjoy from all the time we eat food from not sudat mitzvah.
Wow.
So all of our friends, we want to go baltai. We want to go right now and make al ha'esh. That food, that al ha'esh, that's going to cost you a lot after 100. It's on my words, Bala Chesed LaAvraham. Don't look at me with those eyes, guys. Please. And so he says, when does a person save himself from that? It's the words of the Chesed. You could buy a book, Chesed LaAvraham, find this chapter over there. Here, this is the Chida's great-grandfather. And he writes over there, he took the books of a couple of the books of the Ariakos from under the grave. He dug it out.
Wow.
Imagine who he was. They say he once went inside Marta Machpelah alive and came out.
No way.
They went there, he saw Avraham, Yitzhak, Yaakov. The Chida's great-grandma, Rabbi Avraham Azulai. He Baal Chesed LaAvraham, very big. I have his books at home, Knaf Raranim, and Shar Kavanot. Anyways, it just was reprinted after many years. When these things come out, you have to buy them right away because they only make like 100 copies, and that's it. Limited edition. So anyways, Rabbi Avraham says, how do you save yourself from the feasting goes on? If you want your body to be kadosh, you don't want any. It says, only eat in Seudat Mitzvah, meat. Only eat Seudat Mitzvah, or eat meat on days when there is no Tahanun. When there is no Tahanun, no Anna.
April.
So Nisan.
What does it
now
mean?
Now depends. If you're
What does it
Ashkenazi, I don't know. I'm in Ashkenazi shul, no Tachanun again. Their
Chicken.
Nisan started early. Also, you got no Tachanun.
No,
I don't know where these halachot are coming from. Admor Echad Amaya, there is no Tachanun. I say they want to eat basar, so they no Tahanun.
Chicken count?
Chicken too. Yeah.
Counts,
So he says, don't eat the meat or chicken on the days of the Tahanun. That number one saves you. Number two, do eat when you. And there's no Tahanun. There's the Beit Din is closed in Shemaim. It's closed. The days of Kiddusha, when there's no Tahanun, because there's no Ana. There is a Pirush that says that the Gehenom is also closed and there's no Tahanun. That's why we don't say Tahanun. And then that's why we say, by the way, Tzidu Kadin, Tzidkatcha Kare'el, Mishpatecha Tohomer. Why do we say Tzidkatcha and Mincha? We don't say Yishem. Why, Rabbi Isai? Why do we say Tzidkatcha? Two Perushim there is. One, everyone knows. Who died on Mincha of Shabbat? Yosef, Moshe, and David. So the first Tzidkatcha, we say Tzidu Kadin. We're saying, Hashem, you're right. Because these three men were not supposed to die. They were Tzadiks Yesod Olams. One was Sfirat HaYesod, one was Sfirat HaDat, that was Moshe. One was Sfirat HaMalchut, that's David. They're not supposed to die. These three men were Tzadikim Yesod Olam. So they say, Tzidkatcha Kare'el, Mishpatecha Tohomer, Adam Ubehemat Oshia. That's Yosef. Tzidkatcha Elohim Admarom. Who went to Admarom? Moshe. Tzidkatcha Tzedek Le'olam, Toratecha Emet. Who sealed the Torah? David, with his Tehillim. He sealed everything. Moshe wrote 5, he wrote 5. He was the Malchut, he's the sealing, he's the last Sephirah. That's the first reason why we say Tzidkatcha. What's the second reason why we say Tzidkatcha? We talked about it on Shabbat. What's the second reason? Second reason is a very deep reason. It's brought down in the name of the Midrash. The Midrash brings a story of Rabbi Akiva and Vespasian. Aspasianus Caesar. Aspasianus. The Gemara says, Shachik Atzameh, may his bones rattle in the grave. He's the father of the great Rasha, Merusha, Titus, the destroyer of the Beit HaMikdash, the second Beit HaMikdash at least. So Aspasianus, Vespasian, the Rasha, he was emperor of Rome, and he once told Rabbi Akiva. Rabbi Akiva used to travel to Rome a lot. Because the rabbis were not afraid to talk to the emperors to help the Jews in Rome. And there's a very big Jewish population in Rome, by the way. Very big Jewish population. The Jews from Rome spread out to Europe. That means first they went to Rome, and then from Rome, France, Spain, then Germany, then Charlemagne, which was good for the Jews. He was a good guy. Charlemagne, the Holy Roman Emperor of the Second Reich. That's what the Germans say, Reich. Charlemagne, he wanted to bring Jews to Europe. He knew where the Jews are people that believe in capitalism. We're very big capitalists. We believe in free trade. So he wanted to bring Jews to bring up. He said, you can't bring Jews if you don't bring their rabbis. First you have to open up a yeshiva. Even Charlemagne knew what the secret was. And he opened up the first yeshiva in Mainz, Germany. Then from Mainz, Germany, he went to Worms, Vermiza, until Hitler, Yamach Shemo V'Zichro, destroyed all the German yeshivot. And they, by the way, the Maharam Merotenberg, they had a Sefer Torah written by Moshe Rabbeinu in Vermiza, in Worms. It's a famous story. I'm going to tell you the story one day, guys. You remind me. Anyway, back to Rabbi Akiva. He was in Rome, and in Rome there was a big tzaddik called Todus Ish Romi. He was a very big tzaddik. He was the leader of the Italian Jewry, and he wrote. Used to. Why was he a great man? There's a halacha in Pesach that you cannot make shashlik.
Yeah, korban.
You know this or no? Of course you know it, Gabriel Malach. Open your brain. Does they know it? You know this or no? Are you allowed to make shashlik on Pesach? Sukkot, could you make shashlik? Ala Eish? Yes.
It's a mitzvah.
Shavuot, could you do it?
Mitzvah.
Yes. Shabbat, you can't do ala Eish. Rosh Hashanah, yes. Yom Kippur, you cannot. Hanukkah, Tarbitz. But the Pesach, you cannot. Why not? It looks like the Korban Pesach. It looks like, guys. Obviously, it's not like the Korban Pesach. Korban Pesach, you actually would take the. We learned, remember Masechet Pesachim? You gotta take it. You gotta put the legs. You gotta you get like a whole single. It's all procedure over there. Shashlik is not ala Eish is not the Korban Pesach. You're cutting the meat. You're putting the Korban Pesach. Could you spice it up?
No.
You can't spice it after. You could dip it inside of.
And you have to be registered.
Huh?
And you have to be registered.
You gotta be registered for it. You gotta shecht it into the Beit HaMikdash. But in Italy, in the Todus' place, they used to do shashlik. Not only shashlik, just like they used to do in the Beit HaMikdash. He says zecher lekorban pesach. Not like us. We take. No, we say chayiga because we're knockoffs. But it was really zecher lekorban pesach. How? When you take the seder plate, You hold a seder, and you gotta point to the shank bone, right? And you say, this is for the korban pesach that we eat al shuma, right? But Todu says, no, you have to actually take the thing and do the zecher le korban pesach. And the rabbis were very upset at him, but they didn't excommunicate him. Why? Why, guys? Or they didn't excommunicate him? So what's so special about him?
They needed him.
Huh? They needed him. Why did they need him?
To support.
He was very rich. And whenever you would see a Talmid Chacham that was poor, he used to take money out of his pocket. He says, do business. Go make a business. You'll pay me back later. Like this, he used to support Talmid Chacham. Chachamim say, this guy has a lot of zchuyot. We're not. He's the untouchables. Untouchables. We can't touch him. Tazria. Anyway, Rabbi Akiva was in Rome. Rome, the great city. Rome. He was in Rome and he went to see Vespasian. This Vespasian, he asked Rabbi Akiva, you guys, you say you're Jewish. Jewish. Al-Yahud. He says, you Al-Yahuds, who says your Shabbat is the real Shabbat? Look at your face, you're like, give me that Vespasian, I'm gonna smash him. Who said your Shabbat is the real Shabbat? He says, remember I sent you guys in the chat that African thing where they take the skull of the guy and they put the bone in his mouth, and I said this is similar to what the Torah says, Ovu Yid Oni, where they used to talk to the dead. Crazy stuff, right? Till today they do these rituals in you don't know what's going on down there. There's
Brazil too, South
Brazil,
America.
they have a lot of crazy. In
America.
India, a lot of voodoo, a lot of stuff. There is spirituality out there, I would say. You just have to know how to find it. Anyway, so he says to him, so he said to Vespasian, you, shachik atzameh, what's shachik atzameh? Your bones rattle. Why? He used to take his father out of Gehenom to ask him questions. How? He used through the bones. He used to take the bones out, and ask his father questions from the dead.
The Vespasian?
Vespasian. He says, try to get your father up on Shabbat. Try to get him up on Shabbat. So it says it was Friday after 11 o'clock. It was a Friday after 11 o'clock. He said, I'm gonna already start right now. And he tried to put his father up with the ov to ask him for the questions to see. They wouldn't come up on Friday afternoon.
Come back tomorrow.
No, he didn't go to the mikveh, that's for sure. But he tries again before Shabbat. It doesn't come up. Shabbat doesn't come up. Till the Jews didn't do Havdalah in Rome. He didn't get up. So on Sunday, when he picked him up, he said to his father, how come you didn't get up? It's a midrash. It's all midrash. Because how come you didn't get up? And he tells him, don't you know that Gehenom is closed on Shabbat? As I understand it, Gehenom is closed on Shabbat. This midrash is paskin lahalacha. I understand Gehenom is closed on Shabbat. How come you didn't get up on Friday? So he says the ha'ara of Shabbat already starts from Friday midday. So really Gehenom is closed for how many hours? 31 hours. Kiminyan kel. 6 hours plus 7 hours plus 24 hours. So from midday, from actually the 5th hour of the day, there's 24 hours plus a quarter of the day, right? It's going to be 31 hours, kiminyan kel. That's why the Ari HaKadosh said from the 5th hour of the day, you go to dip in the mikveh, you already get Ha'arat Shabbat. For who? Whoever does Shnayim Mikra, V'achat Tarjum, as our Temani brothers say, Chat Tarjum. So, as they say, Jumbo. Do Shnayim Mikra. What are you guys waiting for? 1 hour of the day, of the week you can't give to Hashem. Do Shnayim Mikra. Everybody's like, come on. Especially this year is a leap year. All the parashot are one. It's what's to do over there?
And twice the text and then.
Exactly. But that's already that's the lowest level. You have to do it. Rabbi Ovadia used to say. Anyway, let's not get into Halachot Shnayim Targum right now. Anyways, what do we see from this Gemara, from this midrash? It's a midrash that the Gehenom is closed for how many hours? 31 hours. Starting from Friday afternoon. That's why already from Friday afternoon, that's when the Satanim, they want to bring Gehenom back. He's out of commission. That's why on Shabbat, the Satan goes crazy. The Shindalets go crazy on Shabbat. Why? They're out of a job. Now they need to break. They're so used to breaking things in Gehenom over there. They're out of commission. So they come down here and they start to make John Nozi between people.
Why is it called
John Nozi is fights.
Instigation.
Instigation. I like that. Instigations. Anyways, so it says over there in the Midrash, Vespasian's father tells him, even though it's closed on Shabbat, already from midday Shabbat, our bones start to shake. Why? Already from midday Shabbat, Mincha of Shabbat, we start to smell that they're starting the fires of Gehenom again. So they're already lining us up for Havdalah to throw us back into the Allah Ish. That's what the Vespasian's father tells him. And he says to him, he tells him, that's why the Geonim say Tzidkatcha. Why are we saying Tzidkatcha? Why? For those people that are already Mincha of Shabbat, they're already getting ready to go back inside their place, their laundromat, let's call it. Somebody's laundromat. You know, in the laundromat, you have 3 options over there: moderate, medium. There's over there the laundromat, high pressure, heat. Some stains, you need a real high pressure to get them out. There's a laundromat, cold. Like today was, imagine, suddenly it was hot, suddenly freezing cold. This is all for who? What kind of people? Those who don't learn Torah.
Cold.
Whoever learns Torah, the Yisurim of Gehenom doesn't touch him. Do you know what kind of zechut it is to learn Torah? Shar Gilgulim. You know what a zechut it is to learn Torah? And you have the time right now to learn Torah. Every single place you go, you can catch another mitzvah, catch another thing. They asked Rav Chaim Kanievsky, they asked Rav Chaim, they said to him once, it's a joke. He said, the Gemara says you have to, when you marry a girl, check her brothers. When the Gemara says the thing, you have to listen. Yes or no? If only we would have checked. No, don't say that. So they gotta check the brothers. If the brothers are normal, we're gonna have good kids, Bezrat Hashem.
Mommy or brother? She doesn't have brothers.
If the mother is not normal, why are you going out with her? But if the brother is normal, that's what you gotta check. So one guy once asked Rav Chaim, it was a joke. He asked him, first of all, how do we know if he's normal or not? How do you know if he's normal? He says, what did he answer? How do you know if he's normal? If he knows how to learn Torah. If he knows how to learn Torah. Because how is a person normal not learning Torah in this world? My son came home from yeshiva. He comes and he's learning Parashat Bereshit. He says, Abba, I don't understand. This one rabbi passed away, he was 90. This says, but Enosh lived till he was 905 years old. How come people don't live till 905? Look at a kid in first grade asked the question. Imagine living till 905 years old. What is that? Is that life? Even today you already close your eyes, you're 40. Close your eyes, you're 60. Close your eyes, you're already retired. What's life? And everything chats, chick chack, everything passes. You have to chatof ve'echol, take the mitzvot. I wanted to read you a Zohar today. It was today's Chok L'Yisrael in the Zohar. Let's finish the story with Chaim Kanev. So he said to him, let's say the girl has 2 brothers. One is normal, one is not normal. What should you do? So he said, go out with half of her. Half of her, go out, or don't go out. Anyway, that was the story, but that's he said as a joke. The Zohar says in the Chok L'Yisrael, how do you say chok in Hebrew? Chet, chok. In Kuf, chok. Chaim Kanievsky.
Wow.
His life was like a chok. You couldn't understand it. So much Torah, so many would say. Anyway, so here it says in the Zohar, today's Zohar of the Chok L'Yisrael, it says over there that chas v'shalom, the Negaim that we're going to learn in Parashat Tazria. Did I say for the Shimona family? I kept on saying, adding stuff. So it says in the Parashat Tazria, it says over there that this parasha is also called Negaim. What's Negaim? Afflictions. What kind of afflictions? Tzara. What kind? Tzara. But where does it go? On your eye, on your intestines, on what?
On your clothing first.
Don't be Baba Michael with me. And then it's on the skin. Right? On the skin. Where did those... Now let's look at the parasha. We had first Parashat Shmini. Right? Shmini talks about the death of Nadav and Avihu. And then it talks about what? Come on, guys, don't do this to me. What does it talk about? What was Aliyah Shishi about?
Kosher animals.
Kosher animals, thank you very much. Kasher? La Pesach. What's kosher? To eat. Le'echol. To eat.
Yes.
Yes? What does Aliyat Mashlim talk about? Mikveh. If a person has carry, he has to go to mikveh amayim. Mikveh. Okay? Then we have Parashat Metzora. This is our week's parasha. I'm sorry, Tazria.
69 verses.
69 verses. Counts the verses.
My app.
The apt. Parashat Tazria. What does Tazria talk about? What kind of tum'ah? Tum'at of birth. Tum'at hayoledet. And then what does it talk about? After Tum'at hayoledet, we talk about what?
Usually break down next to it.
The Brit Milah is part of the Tum'at hayoledet, right? But she has a boy, she's tameh for 1 week, then she sits 33 days al demei tahara. What's demei tahara? What's demei? Dam. What's dam? What's tahara? Pure blood. There are pure bloods in a woman and non-pure bloods. And at the time of the Gehenom and even before that, they knew what bloods were tameh. Now the Torah, you don't need to tell. You don't need to know. The Torah tells us automatically that blood that comes out of a woman after a week of childbirth is tahor. It's a pure blood. It looks the same. No, it's pure. For a girl, she's tahor 2 weeks. She's tameh 2 weeks, and then she's tameh. Wait a second. She's tameh for 2 weeks, and then for 66 days she sits bidmei tahara. Pure bloods. Pure bloods. You understand? That talks about Tumat Hayoled, and in these verses we talk about also Nida. Correct or incorrect? After that, the parasha starts to talk about Sarat. Tum'ah of the body. Tum'ah of the goof. It's also called Nig'ei Bnei Adam. Nig'ei Bnei Adam. Now, look how all the parasha makes sense. First, it starts to talk about Nadav and Avihu. Who was Nadav and Avihu? We're going to learn in Parashat Ba'alotcha. They were Adam Harishon. They're Adam Harishon. They're Adam Harishon. How do we know that? In Parashat Ba'alotcha, where it talks about the Korban Pesach Sheni, there were people that were Tme'im Lenefesh Adam. It doesn't say we were Tme'im. They couldn't bring the Korban Pesach. In the desert, they only brought the Korban Pesach one time.
I thought it was because they had a dead body that they touched.
Who was the dead body? It says we are tameh to the soul of Adam. It doesn't say we're tameh, we touch the dead body. It says we are tameh to the soul of Adam. The Ari Darshins, that was Mishael and El Tzafan, that they were carrying the bodies of Nadav and Avihu, that they were the nefesh of Adam Harishon. So because of Adam Harishon, that sinned in Chet Etz Hadat, what was the sin? Do not eat after, because of the sin of the Etz Hadat. God first told him, eat from everything. Everything is kasher. The Gemara says there is a fish that tastes exactly like PIG. Everything that's not kosher, there is an animal in the world that tastes the same exact way.
Permissible way to do it.
Permissible. Anything that's impermissible, there's a permissible way to do it.
The udder.
Okay? Right, meat and milk, the udder,
That's
exactly.
why the next thing is about kosher.
Exactly. That's why right away, what does the Parsha talk about? Kosher and not kosher. Because of the sin of Adam Harishon, now you have to watch what you eat. First, everything was allowed to eat. Now, there is kosher and there is not kosher. After that, it talks about mikveh. Why mikveh? After that, what did God then cursed? He first cursed the woman, right? He said to the wife, to Chava, you're gonna harba arbe itzvonech. I'm gonna make you tameh betumat nida. Before the Chet Adam Harishon, woman would be pregnant, and I don't know about instantly, but she wouldn't be. There would be no pain in the childbirth, and she would also not experience menstrual blood. She would bleed, but it wasn't menstrual blood. How do we know? Masechet Ketuvot. Masechet Ketuvot says there was a family in Yerushalayim that all their women didn't have hymen blood, and they didn't have blood of menstrual blood. How? They were blood. They were bleeding. All their blood, tahor. Everything was tahor. And it says that Kohanim Gedolim used to marry women also from the tribe of Asher, that they shouldn't have the problem of one time being tameh, one time being tahor. Women from the tribe of Asher had this kind of sigula that their tum'ah, there was no tum'ah by them. They weren't in the sin of chet, of chava. So after that, we talk about mikveh. What do you do when you're tameh? Now, because a woman is tameh, sometimes it happens you have carry. Because if you have carry, seminal emission at night, You have to go to the mikveh. After she sees her menstrual cycle and she gets her ovulation. And you went to the mikveh and she went to the mikveh. And then she could have Isha ki Tazria v'yalda zachar. The Gemara says a woman wishes her whole life, when I'm going to have a baby? Boy. After baby boy, she always wishes, she could have 10 boys, she still wants a baby boy. Always boy. Why? The Torah says, Ve'li ishech tishukatech. Hashem put in the mind of a woman, the Gemara says, after a woman gives birth, she right away has to bring a korban. She's bringing a korban. Why? There's a machlok in the Gemara why she's bringing a korban. I don't want to get into it. Rabbi Shimon says because she made a swear. I'm never going to meet with this man again. But then right away she's mitcharetet. She regrets she made that swear. Why she regrets? Really, there's no reason why a woman should want to be married and have children. There's no reason why. She has to go through the pain of the wedding now. She has to go through 9 months of labor. After labor, before epidural, what was it going? Even with epidural, they put the needle the wrong way. The woman could suffer all of her life from migraines. Ever see the needle? You've been inside. You see the needle? Yeah. Is this the right size or
Come on.
It's not that big.
It's a pretty big size.
Lower back base.
Okay? It depends how much exactly. And you gotta put it in the spine. You gotta put it in the spine. Why don't you Google it? Alright? You put it in the spine. I'm not giving you permission to go on Google. I'm just saying to go on Google. I also saw it. Maybe I was under the influence. Who knows? But the thing is that she has to go through the thing, and she's afraid. So now she's got to hold still during that. And if she moves right, left, halach aleh. You understand? After she gives birth, what did Hashem put in her psyche? I want it again. If a guy would have gone through that, never again. Lo be'olam hazeh, lo be'olam haba.
He's gonna call his
a guy that suffers from hemorrhoids, lo aleinu. He doesn't want to go to the bathroom again. Okay, he doesn't want to go to the bathroom again. And I said he can't handle pain. Actually, we learned. I remember from back in my days, in anatomy physiology, women have higher pain tolerance. Hakadosh Baruch Hu put that inside of them, that they are able. That's the secret. Ve'el ishech teshukatech. She wants to be in the. She has shukah. So Isha ki Tazria ve'alda zachar. After that comes tzaraat haguf. What's tzaraat haguf? After Adam had Cain and Hevel, then he separated from his wife. When you separate from your wife, you start to get tzaraat. When you don't have Shalom bayit, you have tzaraat. Why? When he was separated from his wife, 130 years, he was in the water of Gehenom. Who was visiting him all the time? Lamed Yud, Tov, Lo Aleinu, Velo Al-Am, Israel. By the way, I have an interesting gematria over here from Rav Moshe Zachuta, Baal Shorshei Shemot. He says over here something, I just want to read you this really quick. He says, we have Torah Shebichtav and Torah. How do you want to knock her out? You want to knock her out? Yeah, who knows? Yeah, maybe not, maybe yes. When I get married, for a while, no. It says over here, what do we learn? We have, what's our first part of, I know you love Tilim, you're the best. We have Chumash, right? What's Chumash come from the word? Chamesh. Five books, right?
5 books of Torah.
After that, we have Nevi'im, prophets. Then we have Ketuvim, the writings, right? After that, we have Torah Sheba'al Peh. Torah Sheba'al Peh, what's the first part of Torah Sheba'al Peh? Mishnah. After Mishnah, you're getting excited there. We have Gemara, but what's the real name of Gemara?
You like Mishnah?
Talmud. Gemara was a name they used to change it because the Romans or the Goyim shouldn't know what we're learning, right? They used to print the books. What do you do? Is this Talmud? No, it's Gemara. It's something else. Gemara. They open up the book. They don't know themselves what's flying over their eyes. Gemara. They're confused. Yeah, it was like a censorship name. The real name is Talmud. Says Rav Moshe Zachuta. He says, the Talmud is full of questions and answers. Meleim kash v'teved. V'tzarichim levarer et hasolet mitoch hapsolet. You got to take out the fine flour from all the garbage. Lahavdil. Inside the Gemara, inside the Talmud, to sift together. When you learn the Gemara, you're taking out your nitzot de kedusha. It says here, v'lachen Talmud gematria. Talmud is the same numerical value as Lamed Yud. Lamed Yud Tav. They have the same numerical value, says Moshe Zachuta, to teach us one thing. Shehu lahachniya. When you learn Gemara, you're destroying her. She doesn't like when people learn Gemara. When you're taking the sparks of Kedusha from her. And it says over here, when you learn Talmud Yerushalmi and you learn Talmud Bavli, it's two different powers. You have Yerushalmi and you have Bavli. There's two shchinas. When is it two shchinas? There are two ways that There are two ways that Hashem reveals Himself. There's two Sfirat HaMalchut. There's really more than that. There is Sfirat HaMalchut. We call the Sfirat HaMalchut God's glory. Sometimes we call it Rachel. And sometimes we call it Leah. The pasuk says Zion, Zion, not those Zionisters. Zion, the real Zion, b'mishpat, with judgment, tifadeh. What's tifadeh? Will be redeemed. V'shaveha, what's v'shaveha? And the people that come back, b'tzedakah, will come back through righteousness. Tzedakah doesn't really mean charity. It means righteousness. It comes from the word tzedek. Okay, like tzaddik. So Rav Yosef Chaim Sonnenfeld said, Tzion b'mishpat tifadeh has the same numerical value as Talmud Yerushalmi. V'shavea b'tzedakah has the numerical value Talmud Bavli. So he says over here, so when you're learning Gemara, you're doing a big thing. Not just because you're learning to learn the Torah Sheba'al Peh, you're actually, it's also siguli. So the Rav Moshe Zachuta writes, the Talmud Yerushalmi is the Talmud keneged the high Shechina, very high level Shechina called Leah. It's higher than Rachel.
Yerushalmi.
It's called Alma Di'it Kasya, the hidden world, Yerushalmi.
Because it was
And Talmud Bavli is keneged Rachel. Now, Rachel is Alma Di'it Galia. It's when Hashem's glory is in an open way. That's why, what do we paskin halacha like? Like the Bavli. Who learns Yerushalmi today? Only in yeshivot you find people who learn the Yerushalmi. Yerushalmi is a very important part of the Torah. If you open up Yabia Omer or Ovadia Yosef, left and right he's quoting over there Yerushalmi, Bavli. Ovadia even says, according to the halachic interpretation, that when the Yerushalmi fights against the Zohar, you have to paskin like the Yerushalmi. Many things you have, for example, there are whole parts of the Torah that don't have interpretation only in the Yerushalmi. For example, all the agriculture, all the Seder Zra'im, there's no Bavli on it. We don't know in the Bavli any Gemara talks about how we do Kilayim. What's Kilayim? Grafting. You don't have a Maaser. What's Maaser? Back and forth. You don't have. How come we don't paskin? How come when Bavli says the halacha, we put away the Yerushalmi? Why is that? Because the Bavli had another 150 years of editing.
Stop.
Yerushalmi stopped being edited 150 years before. So therefore, there was more shakle and tarya back and forth in the Bavli. So we paskin like the Bavli over the Yerushalmi. But when a person learning the Talmud Yerushalmi, first of all, Talmud is gematria lamed yud. Says Rav Moshe Zachuta, lamed yud tough. And when you learn the Yerushalmi, you're connected to source of Le'ah. Now I'm going to tell you something right now. We're going to finish with this, something matok midrash. We're going to learn a Kavanah today. It's good to write this down. Once a day you have to have this Kavanah. Tefillah, and we said this many times before in our shiurim. Many times. Just like we have two aspects of the Shekhinah, of the divine presence, two ways God reveals Himself. One is Beit Kasya, one is hidden, and one is Beit Galia, one is revealed. Right? Yeah. Just like that, we have two mitzvot derabanan. One is Purim, and one is Hanukkah. Hanukkah is Keneged Le'ah. It's Beit Kasya. It's hidden. You don't see. You see a small little light over there. Purim, Hashem is open. He's drinking with us. Kivyachol. His happiness. V'chule. That's called Beit Galia. That's Keneged Habavli. Where was it done?
In
Bavel. Yeah, it was in Bavel. Paras was Bavel. It was the same thing. Same empire. The Parthian Empire. So it says over here, Tefillah, when you read it, when you're doing tefillah, it's keneged Rachel. Tefillah is keneged Rachel. The tikkunim in tefillah, 90% is keneged Rachel. Learning Torah is keneged Leah. So when you learn Torah, almost all the tikkunim that you're doing is in Alma De'it Kasya. It's in the hidden world. You have to learn the Torah. You have to break your head. You have to take out the kash in the tevin. You have to open it up. The only exception is Kabbalah. Zohar. Zohar is meant to be open. Everything is clear. Everything is open. Everything is black and white. There's no gray area. There's no machlokets in the Zohar. Right? That's connected shtehem. Why? Here's the secret of secrets. I don't know if I should reveal you guys the secret, but I'll do it. I'll give you a little taster. One day you will learn it. So it says, remember, the two sisters, Rachel and Leah. Remember Rachel? She stole her father's trafim.
Yes.
Teref, those avodah zaras, and she sat on it. And Lavan came and he says, "Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it?" And she says, "Oh, Abba, I don't know." You don't see that he went into Leah's thing. So the Rashi says over there, Leah, she wasn't a mashmashanit. Rachel was a, pardon my language, if you read Rashi, she says she was a mashmashanit. She always liked to, she was nosy. What's going on? What's doing? She was always into the thing. She said, "Oh, if anybody took it, it's this one." So it says that the secret is to have a Beit HaMikdash. The Beit HaMikdash is really, really keneged Leah. That's why the Beit HaMikdash, it's written in which tractate? It's called Midot. Midot. Midot in Hebrew is Mem, Dalet, Taf. 444. This 444, if you take the word, the name of Hashem, Aleph, the letter Aleph is the most powerful letter. Aleph, and Aleph. Aleph of Ekye, Aleph of Ammonai, Aleph of Ekye, Ammonai. There is a name of Hashem called Aqua.
Oh, wow.
Aleph K, Vav Hey is the name. I'm just not saying the Vav.
Yeah, just saying, yeah.
I'm not saying the Vav. And there's a name of Hashem Keneged. There's a name Keneged Da'at. Da'at, that's the name Aleph K Vav He. And there's a name Elokeinu. Kel is really part of Elokeinu. These four Aleph, if you take their numerical value, it's going to be exactly Midat, 444. Now the name that includes all names is named Ekye. Ekye is the highest name. It's the name of the Binah, it's the Sphira of the Binah. Ekye. Hashem said to Moshe, Ekye, Hashem, Ekye. Ekye shalachani alechem.
How come we can say the name then?
Ekye, because you can't reach it.
But you'd give up.
You can, Havaya you could. The Kohen Gadol would reach it on Yom Kippur, right? You could do stuff with it, right? But Ekye is so, it's so, right? That you can't, you're not going to reveal anything from that name. That's in Olam Haba we're going to reveal the name Ekye. That's why, Vayom Ha'u Yeh Hashem Echad, U'Shmo Echad. It's going to be, Hashem's name is not going to be Yud K Vav K, it's going to be Yud K, Yud K. Vayom Ha'u Yeh Hashem Echad. Not anymore Yud K Vav K, but Yud K, Yud K. You understand? That's the last sentence we say in Alinu L'Shabeach. Because the Vav K will go up to the level of Yud K, and it's going to be 2 times Yud K. How it's going to actually play out, I don't know. When we'll both get there, we'll see. Let's continue. So we have the name, we have Leah and Rachel. Now what's the secret between the both of them? All of our tefillah, we're fixing the 10 sfirot of Leah and Rachel. Leah and Rachel, which is the Sfirat HaMalchut, has 10 Sefirot. 10 revelations. Every midnight, the Sfirah of Rachel goes down into the Klippa. God's Malchut goes into the Klippa to take out the Nitzot Kedusha. When they will be done, Mashiach will come. They're almost done because we have Eretz Yisrael in our hands. We have half of Yerushalayim in our hands. We just need we need that Mordechai HaTzadik that takes all the Jews, all the Miflagot, gathers them together, and we're done. Now, here is the secret. Here is what we're missing. Here we have to all work for. This is where the biggest pegam is. In Lavan, which we say in Pesach, Lavan bikesh la'akor takot. It's all in the secret of those trafim that Rachel sat on. Everything is in those trafim. Now, how do you say trafim in Hebrew? Taf, Reish, Pei. Now spell it backwards. Ben, Porat, Yosef. What's the fourth river? Va'nar ha'revi'i Perat. This Perat is also all the names of Hashem. All the names of Hashem. If you take Ekye, if you take Ab, Sag, Ma, Ben, which is the 4 Miluim of Havaya, and Kasa Kamakana, which is the 3 Miluim of Ekye. We talked about this many times. Of course, I should write it on the board, but you just take my word for it. It's going to be Gematria Porat. Okay? Okay, beseder. You don't have to know this part. Now, I'm going to tell you the secret of this week's parasha. All the Negaim come, all the afflictions come, because we're not fixing the Malchut of Hashem. Le'ayin Rachel Tefillah in Torah. How do you not fix it? There is one part that's missing ever since the destruction of the first Beit HaMikdash. I'm going to tell you what it is. I'm going to erase the board. Here's how it works.
I feel like I'm in high school. I love it.
Here's what he says. The Sphira of Malchut is called Rachel and Leah, are two mothers. Correct? Here is the end of the world of Atzilut. Below this is Biriya, Yetzirah, Asiyah. Or in the short words, Madora Klipot. It's where already Hashem is totally hidden. You have to reveal Hashem. So, the last Sphira that's closest to the Klippa is called Malchut. Malchut is split into two.
Which is us.
Right, we all come from Malchut. That's where our Neshamot come from. That's the Kisei HaKavod. That's the Kisei. No questions, guys. Just listen. After you guys, Zet Hashem, will learn. Of course, I'm teaching you very high level stuff right now. But for the zchut of Pesach is coming, Rosh Chodesh Nisan, maybe we could add some Kavanah of our everyday stuff. Stuff that you'll never hear again in your life, for sure not. Okay? So appreciate it. Okay? So the Sirah of Malchut, I'm just going to split it into two. One is called Leah, not our actual mother. She's named after this Sirah. It's like we use that name. You guys got it? It's not the actual person. There's no people over there. There's no letters over there. There's no lights over there. Everything, it's a partsuf. It's a system of a midot of Hashem. And the next piece is over here, Rachel. Leah, you wear her every day. Which part of your tefillin?
Rosh.
Which one? There's a couple of parts to it.
No, the straps, no?
What's the back part?
The backward, yeah.
Valid.
What did I say? She is midat. 4, 4, 4. The dalat of the tefillin. That's your Leah. So the dalat of your tefillin, that's your Leah. Who saw that Leah? Who saw it? Moshe. Remember the Gemara says? He said to Hashem, show me your kavod. What's kavod? That's aka the Shekhinah. Show me your divine presence. Let me feel your divine presence. He says, I'll show you my malchut, where your shorish neshama comes from. Moshe came from Alma de Idkasya. His main place, he was more connected to Torah, not to tefillah. That's why when he wanted to daven, remember when he wanted to daven, Hashem said, Enough. You're in Keter. You're good. You have another job to do, to bring down the Torah. Sfirat Hadat. Yes, like Leah. And Opam Odeh Hashem. Right? Dat is Torah. Etz Hadat. Torah. Ikar Etz Hadat. What's Ikar of Etz Hadat? Is Gemara. Etz Hadat is Gemara. When you learn Gemara, you're fixing the Etz Hadat. You're separating the good, the kushia, from the teruts. So you're fixing the Etz Hadat when you learn Gemara. So that's Leah. What's Rachel every day? So now you're going to wear tefillin tomorrow. I hope, not just tomorrow, for the rest of your life, you're going to have a new appreciation of what you're wearing. You're wearing God's divine presence on you. And only a Jew. If a goy wears it, he's doing nothing. He's doing nothing. You could wear 7 tefillins. It's not going to help him. You understand? So Rachel is your tefillin shel yad. Not just the strap. The whole thing. The whole thing. So she's tefillin shel yad. I'm not going to get into what's tefillin shel rosh. That's already
too high.
Let's not get into that. That's Bechinat Yisrael. Now, the Gemara says something interesting. The Ari explains it. It's key words. You have to learn how to get the key words. You see, only people who strive to connect to something deeper will ever find real Olam Haba. A person who just lives to eat, drink, use the bathroom, and Mikayem Mitzvot Ona, that routine, even though he has kaif, this, that, What's the point of everything then? Excuse my words, things in the zoo have a better, animals in the zoo have a better life. There is a different purpose for your life. So, the Tfilit Rachel, the Gemara says, what humbleness, ma she'asta Anavah, ekev lesuliata, ma she'asta yir'a, Keter lerosha, asta Anavah, ekev lesuliata. In other words, ekev Anavah, yir'at Hashem. It's good to always repeat that pasuk to connect yourself to these two, to the malchut of Hashem. Ma shasta yir'ah, what fear of God made a crown to her head. What Rachel's keter is the feet of Leah, is the feet of humbleness. That means no matter how high level you'll be in Yirat Shamayim, you just started to truly feel what's humbleness.
Wow.
That means a humble person, that's just a guy sitting in the back of the shul and he's like a nobody. Right? You don't feel him. He's humble. You don't see him. He's al-madid kasya. His feet is worth more than the crown of the guy who sits with, and he's full of Yirat Shamayim, and you see the Yirat Shamayim on him. The Mekubalim explain, the Ari explains that Rachel is Yirat Hashem. Is Yirat Hashem. Leah is Anavah of Hashem.
So which one is higher?
That's why who is the most humble person in the world?
Moshe.
Who did Moshe see? Is on Leah. His neshama was Mishorsh Nishmat Leah. I'm not going to get too deep. It's more pratim over here, but what's the point? So Anavah and Yirah are actually interconnected. Because the feet of Anavah is the crown of Yirah. So when the Anavah goes inside Yirah, then you have a full system. But if the Anavah is separated from the Yirah, if you just have Anavah, I want to be humble my whole life. I just want to be a humble guy. But you have no Yirat Shamayim, you don't learn Torah, you're zero. You're nothing. If I just want to have Yirat Shamayim, but I'm a kapdan, I don't have no Anavah, what are you? You need to be a complete person. How do you connect these two pieces together? Before you learn Torah, you have to have Kavanah to fix the Sfira of Leah. When you pray, you have to learn how to fix Rachel. Fixing Rachel is much longer than Leah. That's just the tip of the iceberg, which I'm not even getting into. Now I'm going to teach you right now the Kavanah of Torah Lishma. What does this have to do with this week's Parasha? The way to fix the Nig'ei B'nei Adam, the way to fix the Negaim of Adam Arishon during those 130 years that he separated from Chava. Zot Torah HaMetzora. This is the Torah of the Metzora. What do you mean this is the Torah of the Metzora? Why this is the Torah? This is the Torah that the Metzora is missing. If you would have learned Torah, you wouldn't have had Sarat. You wouldn't have had Sarat. I'm going to teach you the Kavanah quickly. And we're not going to learn Rachel today. By the way, the biggest pegam is right here, where Anavah meets with Yirat Shamayim. Where humbleness touches Yirat Shamayim, that's where the Satan always wants. Why? That's called the Trafim of Lavan. That's the Trafim of Lavan. Those Trafim, Lavan tried to suck from the energy of Hashem's Shekhinah to separate Yirat Shamayim and Anavah. He tried to make John Ganozi between Leah and Rachel, right? That was his whole point, to make separation between the sisters. You understand? Instead of making Shalom. But Rachel, who had Yirat Shamayim, she bowed herself in front of Leah. She knew her job. You understand? She went down. She was Mivayer the Birurim. It's a very deep story. The whole story of Leah and Rachel over there is very deep over there. When Yaakov says to Leah, I love Rachel, gam et zeh. And Yaakov loved gam et zeh mi Leah. It's a secret why he says gam et zeh. It's a whole big thing over there. This feet of Anavah is the Keter of Rachel. This Keter of Rachel, there was a time in the destruction of the second Beit HaMikdash, that a new religion was born. That's called Krit Machism. The Nazirut. The cross. Their whole job is take away that Keter of Rachel, which is the feet of the Anavah. They want to take away the Keter of Rachel. Why? When the Keter of Rachel will be complete, 5 things will come back to us.
The 5 things that are missing.
The 5 things that were missing in the second Beit HaMikdash. Prophecy, the Urim V'Tumim, Shechina.
Kavanot.
Of course, there was Korbanot, the second Beit HaMikdash. What else was missing over there? You confused me. The Aron HaKodesh and the Luchot. Those 5 things are based, if we have that Keter de Rachel, if it's fixed, we're going to get them back. That's why those Kritmachs, they said God was born from a woman. They want the power of the woman. They want to they thought that the Shekhinah is an actual woman, Chas v'Shalom. They made Hashem into an image, God forbid. They caused the biggest pegam. What did they cause? They caused Avodah Zarah. And he said he's Mashiach, which is not even Mashiach. He's in Tzarot Tachat right now. He's in the Shish Kebab over there. He's not. He stays there in Shabbat, by the way. Those story, he doesn't come out. He's over there with the Hitler, Yimach Shimon, Stalin, and who else over there we have? Karl Marx. Yeah, put him in there too. Oh, that communist. Everybody over there. Saddam. Yeah, sure. Who else over there we have? Anwar al-Sadat, Titus, Bilam, all those guys. Bilam knew the secret of the Trafim. He knew the secret of the Trafim. That's why he was with his donkey, the Chamoah, whatever. It's a big thing over there. Too many secrets are being revealed tonight. That's why I drink before the shiur. That's why I don't reveal too much. When I don't, when I'm like this, too much comes out. That's the problem. So how do we do it, Rabbi Isaac? Let me teach you the Kavanah. How to fix the Leah and get to the Rachel. Oh, so how do we fix it in Shmonai? So the Keter of Rachel, where the Pegam is, the Chachamim added a new bracha. What's the new bracha? Laminim v'lamalshinim al tehi tikva. That was the secret of that bracha, to take back the Keter of Rachel. To take the Keter of the Shekhinah back from those Yemach Shamuz, those Nazirites, those Kritmachs. When you say Laminim v'lamalshinim, never skip it. Not Chasrom, skip it. Never. You have to have major Kavanah over there. When you say Baruch Ata Hashem Shover Oiviu Machnia Zeidim, you have to have Kavanah to rip those idols over there. That thing in Brazil has to fall. That Satan over there.
I want to take care of it.
I was about to say something. Anyways, how do you? So first of all, the Keter of Rachel we fix one way is Laminim v'lamalshinim al tehi tikva. I'm sorry, my shiur is taking longer than usual, but I'm not holding anyone back over here. People who want to learn Torah will learn. Will not? Yishtabachnu b'rei olam. So how do we fix the Leah now? Every time you learn Torah, you must say Leshem Yechud Kudsha Bechud Shchiteh Hareini Ba Lilmod Torah Lishma. When you say every morning V'ha'arev na Hashem Elokeinu Divrei Toratcha Befinu Ufil Mechaz B'nei Nacham Tzetzainu Tzetzei Amchaz Kohan Yodei Shemecha Velomdei Toratcha Lishma. What's Lishma? Says the Ari. Leshem Hey.
Leshem.
That's why we named our shul Leshem, by the way. Everything should be Leshem Hey, Leshem Hashem, Leshem Hashchinah Kedusha, Levarer et HaNitzotzot, to bring the Beit HaMikdash. What's Leshem Hey? Specifically, which Malchut we're fixing? Leah. So you should make a sign on your Siddur, Velomdei Toratcha Lishma Leah. You should put over there. The Malchut, which is Almadit Kasya, Torah, which Torah comes from, which is Moshe Rabbeinu. Now how do you fix it? Before you learn Torah, at least once a day you should have this Kavanah. I'm going to erase the board.
Is that also Rabbeinu Tam?
Huh?
Same thing?
Oh, Rabbeinu Tam, to learn Torah with Rabbeinu Tam, this is the bomb of the universe. This is the bomb of the universe. But that's a story for a different time.
But I'm saying it's connected to Leah.
Rabbeinu Tam's is more connected to Leah than Rachel. Because Leah, Sfirat HaChokhmah, Rabbeinu Tam is the Sfirah of the Chokhmah. HaChokhmah techayeh ba'aleh. The Chokhmah brings life to the people who have it. Now how do you fix it? So Leah gets its 10 Sfirot, right? We have Chokhmah, Bina, Dat. Chesed, Gevurah, Tiferet, Netzach, Hod, Yesod. Over here, we're not going to count the Malchut, but the Keter. Keter we're going to do last. How do you fix it? When you think, now I'm going to do Chokhmah of Le'ah, Bina of Le'ah, Da'at of Le'ah, Chesed of Le'ah, Gevurah of Le'ah, Tiferet, Netzach, Hod, Yesod. So first we're going to make the Chabad. The Chabad. Chokhmah, Bina, V'dat, that's Chabad. How do you do that? Leshem, I'm learning Torah Lishma, you have to say. Lishma, the Sphira of Chokhmah of Le'ah, it's all the letter Hey. Everything is going to be surrounding Lishma. Leshem, Hey. Hey. It's all going to be about the letter Hey. If you pay attention, the letter Hey is also one of the hardest otiyot, hardest letters to imagine. Because that's where all of our pegams go to. The letter Hey. The pegam is very big in our averot when we're causing Hashem not to be revealed in this world. We're not opening the Anavah and Yirat Hashem. How do you do it? This Chokhmah, you have to say, is the letter Hey Yud. Making a dash so I could erase. Bina is Hey Aleph.
Where did you get these letters from?
Everything is in the Ariya Kadosh. Da'at is Hey, Hey. So to bring out from the Torah, which I'm not explaining to you what's the Torah itself, but from the source of the Torah, 3-letter A's. Hey, He, and He. And by doing that, just by thinking that, I already made the Chokhmah, Bina, and Da'at of Le'ah, the Chabad of Le'ah. How do I do the Chesed, Gevurah, Tiferet? Again, letter Hey, but how do I do it this time? I already used it all. No, now I'm going to write it in a special way. I could make a Hey as a Dalet, Yud, a Dalet, and a Vav, or 3 Vavs. And that's why you make the Chesed, Gevurah, Tiferet of Le'ah, which is the Torah.
So you picture these letters?
Yeah, you gotta picture these letters.
Different.
Before you learn Torah, at least once a day. At least once a day you should do this. If they say, I'm learning Torah Lishma. Today, what does it mean Lishma? Not for myself. Just to do Nachat Ruach, HaKadosh Baruch. And then Netzach Hod Yesod, that's gonna be a bit hard. It's gonna be the letter Hay's, the Haka'ah, multiplication. Hey is what? Hey Yud, right? Remember Hey Yud?
Yeah.
5 and 10 is 15. So 15 letter A's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 15 letter A's. Behaka'ah. Hey Aleph, 5, 6. 6 Hey Alephs. Hey, 6. 1, 2, 6 of them. And this dot was Hey and a Hey. That's going to be 10, right? So 10 times letter Hey. It's called Behaka'ah. If I take the gematria of all these things that I just did, I'm going to get exactly 444 midat. Those 444s, and I take the numerical value of everything that I just did right now. I'm going to get 444. That's going to be Aleph. Aleph, this is the cherry on the top. Lahavdil. Aleph and Aleph. These 4 Alephs, I'm going to have Kavanah to make the Keter. And I just made the whole Partsuf Koma of Le'ah, and now when I start learning Torah, everything is for the sake of building the vessel in which HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Hashem wants us to do this. He wants us to join Him in the creation. Right? God is not an ATM machine. He wants us to join Him. He doesn't need us. He wants us to join Him. If we're not going to be here to do it, it's going to happen anyways. But when we do it, we get sechar as if we built it. You understand the greatness of it? what the power that you have as a Jew. When you're walking outside, by the way, when you take 4 steps, you're also building Leah. If you do it in Eretz Yisrael, millions of mitzvot you're going to be doing. But that's already a story for a different time. I don't know if I'm going to ever visit this idea again for a while. So this is the Kavanah. I didn't tell you the whole Kavanah. There's 3 other parts of it that I didn't say. I'm not going to finish it this time. This is the gist of it. I just gave you 90% of it. You start slow. You understand? And remember, to be a true Lomed Torah, Leah is what? Is it Yirat Shamayim? Is it Anavah? Anavah. Now, you can never reach Anavah if you don't have Yirat Shamayim. Right? What does that mean, Anavah and Yirat Shamayim? You know what it means? You know, sometimes I'm in a shul, I see a rabbi, Talmid Chacham walk in. There's a mitzvah, V'hadarta pnei zaken. V'hadarta pnei zaken. To talk to somebody with a kavod. Right? There's a halakha in the Shulchan Aruch. You can't ask a rabbi a question while he's walking outside. He's not miyushav. He's not in the right state of mind. He has to sit down. You can't ask him a question. You can't ask him. You should open up the Shulchan Aruch and learn Hilchot Kavod Rabo. It's connected to this. All these things are connected. If I will show you how it's all connected in such amazing ways. And if a person learns to live his life like this, no way it's going to be shtiyot going into his head. Unless you invite it. If you're going to go home right now and turn on the computer, of course you're going to have shtiyot flooding your head. Correct? But if you're going to take this and live with it, then you're going to be, B'ezrat Hashem, great in Torah, in Anavah, and Yirat Shamayim. B'ezrat Hashem Yitbarach, we'll be zocheh to always live Torah, Anavah, Yirat Shamayim, to understand what we just said. I know we said very high stuff over here, but say there, no, slowly by slowly. Why not learn? That's how I started once upon a time. I'm giving this over. Trust me, I'm giving you not even the scraps. I'm giving you like the Kohen used to sprinkle the blood of the Korban and the Yom Kippur, 1 on top and 7 on the bottom. That's all I did. So may Akadosh Baruch Hu mizakeh all of you guys b'Torah Lishma, b'mitzvot, ma'asim tovim, b'yirat shamayim, b'anavah, b'kedusha, b'tara, b'zivugim, b'parnasa. May you learn Torah b'revach v'lo b'tzimtzum. V'chein yatzom v'nomar. Amen.